Stella's decided to co-host again. She's right up here. Look at this pretty face. You know what I was thinking about? I'm gonna tell you. So, one of the things I was noticing, I had said like those shows, Witcher and Wheel of Time, and that other one, I think it's called Carnival or something. It was last year. But anyways, the weird thing is that I have put on so many shows, like a Christmas one called A Boy Called Christmas, I think. It's on Netflix. But a whole bunch of different shows where it's just been the same kind of thing, like elves and like a fairyland, magicians, people where humans were interacting with these half human, half man, and stuff like that. Like so many of these different movies. And when I was a kid, there was this one. There was a bunch. There's this one, and I saw it recently, and it was just as cool to me seeing it again. Maybe it's called Sinbad. Oh, I can't remember. It was a really old movie, and it had like all these medieval gods and creatures. I remember like a Medusa, and she had all these snakes in her hair. It was really, really cool. It was really high tech for back in the 70s or, ouch. Yeah, like in the mid 70s, I would say. Okay, that's not what we do when we're talking over here. Hey, we're talking over here. And anyways, so I was gonna say that these creatures, they were really super cool and stuff, but the thing that has got me is, okay, we're talking about the different realities and all these different realities for different ages or something, like like where does time begin and where does it end, and the congruency of it all. So what I was thinking about was that in this time, what they keep representing, which keeps coming up, and I always think it's there is something to the natural order of things when things come up, and it is like I don't know, I can see like this hand of God kind of situation, but so you have all these different creatures, and it has been written over time, over and over and over, and even back on the hieroglyphics and stuff like that, and Egypt, when all this ancient text, they talk about being around people who had magic and gifts and half human and all that stuff. And I think there's been so many realities here where there was an interaction by all of these different beings from other places. And we, because of how they market it to us, like think that it is some sort of a fairy tale or something, but I think it's part of the history of this place. I think it goes on right now. It's just that our dimension is lowered so that we are we don't observe it, we don't see it, because we're too focused on, I mean, we can see what people are focused on. They're like focused on survival, like this three-dimensional lifestyle that everybody has attributed to, well, this is life. So everybody is, living their life, and it is just, it's such a constructed reality that isn't even consistent, because like I keep talking about, this, and this is what I said, like they'll bring certain things to me, certain ideas or whatever, and then they'll just keep showing me certain things over and over. Like, I'm not going and looking for these shows. This stuff comes to me. Like, I don't go out. Like, how would I even know what some of the stuff is to even look for, I don't know. I don't go out and search for, let's look for shows that have elves or something. I like folklore. But anyways, when the stuff just comes to me, then I feel like it's part of what they're trying to show me. Like I said, it's very when you start paying attention to the signs and stuff, their communication can kind of be hard to figure out what they're trying to show you, you know, and you have to ask a lot of questions, and you have to be present and think about like what they're showing you and stuff, like give it some thought. So the way that they keep showing me this, because I think that that's where we're headed, you know, when we go up in this, you know, higher vibration again, in this more galactic kind of way that we're going to be living in. You know, I'll just call it after the Jubilee. Like, it was, there is so much stuff that is just, you know, how this is drug on this long. I can't get caught up in the, you know, like some people are like, oh, we just got to get Trump back, and we just got to do this, we got to do that. Like, how the hell did they keep somebody who's not even president in office for a year? Like, this stuff is just, oh, I just can't even pay. Oh, I'm just so irritated by it. So yeah, I can't sit there and go like, well, we just get Trump back. That really irritates me now when I get all these emails and stuff. It's like, support what? Yeah, support 2024. Like, I would ever vote again? No. I was put off voting the last time. That's why I even wrote in Bernie. I didn't even, not this time. This time that we found out about the cheating, you know, that I did vote. And I really thought it would be a landslide. I thought that they wouldn't be able to, I thought it'd be the same kind of thing as like what they did with Hillary, and they wouldn't be able to, you know, but I mean, to the lengths they went, just making up ballots and all their bullshit. It just is so irritating. Just because, you know, I mean, there's one group that wants to destroy us, and there's another group that wants to build us up. So for this group that wants to destroy us to have power for this long is very, very irritating. And it's just like, how long can this go on? It's so crazy. This is Christmas Eve, 2021. I don't know. I really, you know, one thing that just keeps coming back to me over and over and over is the challenge of not getting expectations, not being like, oh, it has to happen by a year, this has to happen, that has to happen, or this won't happen or that won't happen, because we don't know. So it's pointless for us to sit there and think. I'm talking to myself basically, because I do that, and then I got to think like, I don't know what's going on, so why would I just, you know, surrender? I'm just not a surrenderer, I don't think, but it is very frustrating, and it is so much about, you know, staying in your faith and staying in just went right through my head. And not getting all caught up in expectations. And there was another one too. Definitely with expectations. Like, it's so easy. And I'll catch myself all the time like, oh, wait, stop. And you're setting yourself up. You're putting out there expectations, which is different. Like, if you think about manifesting, I was going to say manifestation, but if you think about either way, manifesting or manifestation, it is about, for me, it is about, you know, knowing what is mine and seeing it, you know, and on little things like, you know, I want the fence. So I just keep seeing the fence there. I want the chairs. I just keep seeing the chairs there. And then the stuff comes to me. The dresser. I kept seeing the dresser, and I wanted, even though it wasn't there, and all these things didn't exist, when I looked at the place, I would see what I want there. That is manifesting. And then when I, you know, for my life or whatever, and knowing what is mine, even if you don't see like the evidence, like knowing what your path is when they're telling you like what your path is and stuff like that, knowing it, but not setting yourself up with expectation. It's all about balance. So to know what's yours, but not have an expectation when you haven't received it, but you just know it's going to come and it's going to be yours. Because it's so easy to be like, get all caught up. Well, it's got to come this way. It's got to do this way. It's got to be that way. This doesn't make any sense. And we overthink things instead of just allowing them. And it's so much, I think it's so much better when we just allow things. And but this is all stuff, we're just all learning about, and everybody has their own perception of things. And the crazy thing about consciousness is your perception is what is real. So for you, if you think blah blah blah, my daughter always says yada yada what to do, and I know I always want to, because it cracks me up, because it is a lot more like yada yada what to do. But when you are looking at those things, then you gotta, it is knowing what you deserve, loving yourself. So you gotta like yourself. You're gonna know that you deserve whatever you want, whatever they're showing you. But it's so hard to find that too, because so many people think that they are following their path because they're following their desires, but your desires of your wants are different than your soul's desires, I found. They're you still say you want security, you want security, you want a home, you want to know you have someplace to live no matter what happens. But in this, that's a hard one. But you have to know what it is you deserve or what you want, because there's just so many people who are constantly manifesting for themselves, but they're manifesting what they don't want because they don't think they deserve or can have what they do want. So they don't even consider. They just are like that. I know, because there's so many times I would go to the thrift store with people, and I would go to the thrift store and I would put it out there before I went, like what I wanted. I would put in the order to the universe. Oh, I want this, this, this. Okay, and I want this and this. And then I would go, and everything that I wanted would be there. And people would always be like, how do you do that? I don't get it. How do you do that? And I would be like, I just tell them what I want before I go. And then when I get there, it's there. And then they're like, yeah, but that never works for me. That's why. It does work. It works for me all the time. But when you tell yourself, well, that never works for me, well, of course it's not going to work for you, because it is by your own belief. It's what you believe will be what your reality will be. That's why it's so vital of your own outlook on yourself, of what you believe you deserve. If you think you're horrible, you think you're not deserving, you've been told you're horrible, whatever all the different things are, you are going out into the world thinking, oh, I'll never get what I want. Oh, I can't get a good guy. I can only get a really shitty guy. I can't have what I want. I won't get a good job. I'll get a broken car, You just go with that. You'll get all those things because you are creating that, because you think that's all you deserve. When you start going, I know I deserve a nice place, and I know I deserve a nice person, and I know I deserve a nice car, and I know I deserve, all of the things that satisfy me. But the thing is what we start thinking is we know what will satisfy us. Because what I have found, and I know I've talked about this before, is that they bring me things that I wouldn't, they go above and beyond. I can think oh, I would really like a house. I would like a lot of trees or something, and they give me this little cabin in the woods with, when I even did my vision board, and it had the little outdoor thing, and I see the action all the time in my own life of the universe giving you what you want all the time. And I think they're reminding me right now because I've been really whiny to them. This is it's almost the end of the year. So yeah, they're really giving it for me. Yeah, they do give me thanks all the time. Yes, all the time. Everything I want. They're really good. They're always giving me stuff, and they'll give you stuff too. You just have to believe that they're there and that they will give you stuff. They want to be known. They want you to realize that they're around you and wanting to give you what you want. But you have to be in that energy. Otherwise, you're riding the wave of disaster because you don't believe what you can have what you want. So it's so weird how it works, and people just don't know. But we're just now learning because consciousness is just now beginning to understand its capabilities and its purpose and what it's doing here and stuff. Like all that stuff is just now starting to be coming out, like to consideration, for people to understand and consider. And it's a choice. I mean, a lot of people, it's a scary thing, It's a lot easier to just stay in, oh no, this is life. This is life, and you need this. Like, everything has to be like 3-dimensional. Like I've got to hold it in my hand, kind of thing, or something. Like, it's very. It's so physical about. And there's good things about that too, but what people can consider, like they can't consider past if they can't see it and hold it and feel it and stuff. They can't smell it, and they don't think, they have a hard time believing that it even exists. So, but I do think like there is, I don't know, just self-help thing where they keep showing that stuff right after they've been, about the different realities and time and space and how it all kind of is just going at the same time. Like I really get now, like before when I would think about please stop, but what's that called? The Xfinity, no, why do I keep wanting to say Xfinity? No, the thing that looks like an 8, but it's forever. What is that called? Is it called Xfinity? Now I've got Xfinity Comcast over my head. What is that word? Xfinity? No. It's, it is, well, it'll come to me. It just means like, it used to, I think it's a weird thing anyways. The whole concept has always freaked me out ever since I was little. But when I would say like, sit up at the feet of God for, why am I so stuck? Man, last night I also had a weird thing happen. When I was talking about like I have to reorient myself all the time. And I had just laid down and I was just like, right away I'll just go into some other world. And so I must have already, and then there was noise out in the hall, and I was like, oh my God, who is that? Where am I? Who is here? And I had to come back awake and try and figure out where I was, who was here. It was so weird. That was weird, but that is like what I feel like right now. I can't get this word when I can see it. I know what I'm talking about, but I can't think of what the word is. But anyways, that one time when I had that experience, whatever, I don't even know what to call some of this stuff anymore, but experiences that they're giving me on some other kind of realm or something. But the one where it was like I was out in space, like everything was dark around me. Everything was, it was like totally being out in space. And I could feel and hear, and I could feel it in my body, like everyone's pain. And I could see it. It was like a roller coaster ride. And it went around and it just kept going around, and it would go up and down and around and stuff. And I kept on seeing it as a collective. Like I wasn't seeing it as the individual. I was seeing it as a group. But I could hear like millions and millions of screams and cries and stuff. And it was going, but as it was going, I'd feel pain in different parts of my body. And then it was like they were telling me that I was feeling everything's pain, like the solar system, like what I was talking about yesterday. Like if you think of this whole thing as being a solar system, well, I was that solar system, and I was feeling the pain of everyone. That is what it felt like. And so when then they were going, and they made it really clear to me how it cycles, which then I learned about, the ages and stuff. Like, I didn't know about the stuff with the ages and stuff. I didn't even know that much about astrology and stuff. But so the thing about the cycles, they showed me, it was like cycles where things would go really good and then they go really bad, really good, really bad and stuff. They didn't show me how long cycles lasted or anything, but they showed me how it is a cycle for the whole collective. It's not just individual, and that's all it is cycles, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going like that. And I was, will you please quit cleaning the couch? I was just thinking like that, all of the consciousnesses around us, that, when I said about souls being driven to help other souls, like when we're in our real life in the soul world, like I know that we can go and be consciousness and be, go do things. You don't have to just, you're not sitting at the feet of God. I was trying to think of the word. You say Xfinity? It's not Xfinity. I know it's not. But anyways, if you were sitting there, I just feel like I'm totally out of it. I've gotten no sleep, I swear to God. I feel like my eyes are barely open. I've been going crazy with my crocheting, Also, I couldn't even sleep. My hands are hurting so bad from doing it. Crocheting like 10 or 11 hours a day, just nonstop. And, but it is relaxing. I can really see like, man, old ladies really had the thing when it's like just sit. And then plus I finished 2 of them and I gave them to the neighbor kids for Christmas. And that was so cute. I just love giving stuff. It makes you feel so good to give stuff to people. And then they look so cute on them. And, but I haven't not had any sleep, and it's been killing my eyes. Trying to see, like, especially anything that is small or dark. Oh my God, trying to do the black. All I can do is see, like, even with black, you can see like shades of black. So where it is darker, then I know to stick the thing in. So I can just see like darkness and lightness. Some of the stuff I can't even see. It's such a blur. And that is, I think, my biggest disappointment right now. Well, I have a couple, but one is definitely the med bed thing. I was really, really hopeful that we would already be using those. It's, it's disappointing, especially when you keep knowing how many people are sick. My daughter's having a lot of issues. Stella is still having issues. Obviously, I have issues. And it's just, I don't know, it's very frustrating. This whole thing was like, how in the hell does this guy who's not even real stay in this power? What is power, really? This whole thing is just a facade. Every fucking thing is just fake. It's just fake as fuck. But, I just don't get it. With the med beds too, and the Jubilee, it is like, I just don't get how they keep this going. How are they all bankrupt? I mean, with because it's paper. All they do is shift paper around. It doesn't, it's just so, I just don't see how long it could go on. I can't believe how many different dates come and go, even the astrology dates, where it's like, there's going to be freaking out. There's going to be, I don't know, you'd have to go in and listen to them. I can't say all this stuff back. But it is, like, I really would think that there would have been some politicians that went down, that they're exposing themselves. But I don't have the news or anything like that, so I don't really know what's going on. But I would imagine I would hear from somebody if something big was going on. So, I don't know, but, just have to keep on keeping on. And you know, just managing. That's all we can do, really. Just like when you're sick, you know, people have got to manage their symptoms. It's like, I need a label for this. Give me a name. Give me a name. What's the treatment? It's like, it's the same damn treatment it's always been when you get sick. Work with the symptoms. And that's the same thing that was going on here. Like, with this, just the way things are just going. Is just manage it day by day, you know. Just get through each day. Yeah, it's like, it makes so much sense by the alcoholics. Like, just get through each day. Just take on the day. Just the same thing as like, you go into a room full of dishes. You don't go like, oh, it's a room full of dishes. Just do that dip. Do the first dish. Do the next dish. You know, it is, and that's how, you know, we just gotta look at this. We just gotta get through today. We just gotta get through this day. No telling what could happen tomorrow. We just gotta get through this day. So, and, you know, we know what is coming. You know, the future is bright after this dark corner. Fucking asshole. But I do think that there is going to be more creatures, but I do think that they are all around us. I think they've always been all around us. I think that we've spent time in history, humans have spent a long time in history, I think, interacting with a lot of different beings, and we just forgot. We just forgot. We've been lied to, we forgot. And we've been scared into being fearful of everything. So, I don't know. We'll see. But that's a whole lot of talk for probably went nowhere. But anyways, have a great Christmas. I don't know. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Probably like today. So I'll probably have time to come in and drop a little Christmas message to whatever, a whole 4 of you. So have a great Christmas Eve. And, you know, I just know that this is temporary. It's quite tedious. That is for sure what I know. Like, even if it isn't, you know, like, oh, the moon and the sun lined up, like, blah, 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 and that means this is going to happen today and stuff like that. Even if some of the stuff didn't happen on a big, you know, on the big main stage, there was probably a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Like, I know out of all of the stuff that they say, the only thing that I think interferes with the astrology and stuff is because they're lying to us about, I mean, there's still no sun. My plants are fucking suffering. I've got the plant light on thing, but there hasn't been a sun in so long. You know, like, where the fuck are we? And I don't know, it's weird because, you know, I think so much of this is all an illusion, but when you're in the dream, so we're present in this dream in a physical form, like, where the fuck are we? That's what I want to know. Where the fuck are we? Where the fuck is the sun? Where the fuck is the moon? I don't know where anything is anymore. The clouds are upside down. The sky's inverted. I have no idea what the fuck. So, I don't know. We'll just have to keep waiting and seeing. But I don't imagine they can just carry this on forever. But I do think that you know, the cycles of the planet, that is all real. That is, you can't do anything about these cycles, the changing of the ages. So no matter what everything seems like right now, no matter how dark and how depressing and how much it seems like the end, it's the end of what this place was. It's the end of what this experience was. But there's a whole new one starting, and it's going to be so much better. So just remember that. Just keep your eye on that prize, because that's how we get through it, I think. So have a great day and have a great Christmas. I'll talk to you later. Bye.